All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Green Bay Packers. We're at that point in the offseason here. It's the middle of February. We're a little bit away from at least draft stuff beginning. And so we're reminiscing. And the Green Bay Packers in the post-Aaron Rodgers era go 9-8. They make the playoffs. They take down the Dallas Cowboys. Folks, for some weird reason, I've been meeting and I've been talking to so many Dallas Cowboys fans, and even a Dallas Cowboys fan who's fully aware of, their history against the Green Bay Packers, they're terrified of Green Bay. They're saying Jordan Love's the real deal. You ask a Detroit Lions fan, Jordan Love's the real deal. You ask a Chicago Bears fan, Jordan Love's the real deal. We should have taken down the San Francisco 49ers, but that's neither here nor there. Green Bay in the season after Aaron Rodgers absolutely killed it. And most importantly, we have our quarterback of the future, 32 touchdowns, only 11 interceptions, Mr. Jordan Love, taking this team almost to the conference championship in his first year as a starter. It was such a crazy season, losing to teams like the Las Vegas Raiders. We went through some rough stretches there. But folks, as a Packers fan right here, man, I could not have asked for more. I really could not have asked for more. If I wanted to get greedy, a Lions-Packers NFC championship game, I mean, that would be unbelievable. But thankfully, or not even thankfully, but thankfully, San Francisco didn't end up winning the Super Bowl there. Not any shade meant to San Francisco, but Detroit, Green Bay, the NFC North's looking good, and most importantly, the Green Bay Packers are looking good. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the offseason in tonight's video, but before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Packers fans, as you guys can tell, I'm a diehard cheesehead, so if we could try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So we'll reminisce here in a second. What's crazy about the Green Bay Packers, they just brought in Jeff Hafley for the defensive coordinator position. What's crazy is the quick turnaround. It really is. But last year's draft class was unbelievable. And in our last Packers video, we went through how the Packers have 6 players in the top 2 rounds. I mean, Dontavian Wicks, Jaden Reed, Carl Brooks, these are players, Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's almost like Goot hit on every single draft pick from last year. But what's even scarier is Green Bay, with the youngest offense in the National Football League, the youngest team to make the playoffs since the 1970 Buffalo Bills, they're loaded up once again. The Green Bay Packers have 5 picks in the top 100. You've got the 25th overall in the first round. In the second round, you have the 41st pick and the 58th pick. And then you've got 2 third-round draft picks at 88 and 91. Now, one thing I've been saying, even though we have 5 top 100 draft picks in this year's class, one thing I've been saying is I do think this will be, for Packers fans, a relatively underwhelming draft. And what I mean by that is, especially in the top couple of rounds, like in the first round and the second round, you've got some stud offensive linemen. And we'll talk about David Bakhtiari because it's such an interesting position. There was a report that the Packers are expected to release offensive tackle D-back. That would save the Packers $20 million in cap space. But the kicker of that report was it was a fake report. It was from some actual journalist who wrote an article on The Athletic saying, I think the Packers will release David Bakhtiari unless the New York Jets are willing, with Aaron Rodgers obviously, are willing to give up a 5th round draft pick for him. And it really does suck because, financially from a team perspective, if you drop D-back, you save $20 million in cap space. And Packers fans, we know David Bakhtiari is an OG. He's a veteran. He's a legend. He's a stud left tackle. And we even saw it in week 1 against the Chicago Bears. But ever since his ACL injury in 2020, he just can't stay on the field. Now, the good news is this. Once again, the Packers have a bunch of draft capital in general, but especially in the top 100 draft picks. They have the 5th most draft value in the entire NFL draft. But this is a good offensive tackle draft, and with David Bakhtiari, the left tackle, moving on, most likely, it would be good to get some resurgence to Mr. Jordan Love, because keep in mind, guys, Jordan Love this season, only 9 quarterbacks started 17 games in 2023, and Jordan Love was one of them. So we got to keep him upright, right? But here's the thing. Rasheed Walker, the fill-in left tackle placement, this is where things get interesting, because once again, I still think the Packers are going to draft an offensive tackle in the first round. It is a late first-round draft pick, but still nonetheless. Rasheed Walker, in the final quarter of the season, like the first quarter of the season, the first third of the season, Rasheed Walker struggled in place of David Bakhtiari. But if you go back and you watch like Aaron Jones's 53-yard run against San Francisco, Rasheed Walker improved in rush. He improved in pass protection. He improved in every single facet. So, you know, it's like, watch out. If we know one thing about Green Bay, outside of the fact that they develop quarterbacks so great, look at Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love, they develop and they find offensive tackles, they find offensive linemen, they find offensive guys in the trenches to just build around. Think, you know, like Zach Tom, like the Green Bay Packers really are such a masterclass performance as far as organizationally. But I do just want to pinpoint Rasheed Walker did a phenomenal job run blocking and pass blocking in the final third of the season. Now, I will say that they're losing probably 2 offensive linemen this upcoming offseason. Either way, even if they weren't, they still need to continue to build up the trenches on the offensive side to protect Jordan Love, who threw 32 touchdowns. Folks, I was watching some highlights. I was watching some Jordan Love throws. This guy's a menace, and we know, you know, they just obliterated the Dallas Cowboys. They should have beaten San Francisco, but clearly that interception on Jordan Love's last drive poises, you know, it arose the question of like, damn, man, like, you know, he's got the talent. We know the Packers are so close, but we just need to see, he just needs more reps, right? I was going back and I was watching games like the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day, the follow-up Sunday night performance against the Kansas City Chiefs, but then the Rams game. But then there's even throws like his throw to, I believe, was it Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson against Tampa Bay, even though they ended up losing that game. I remember watching that on my freaking chair, being so pissed off that entire football game. And the week before against the New York Giants. So it was an up and down season. Even in the second half, a couple of those losses were like, damn, dude, like we really had it and we really should have had it. But nonetheless, man, you go back to games like Sunday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs, where Jordan Love went 25 of 36 for 267 yards and 3 touchdowns. And it's just got me licking my chops, man. The Packers have all this draft capital. They have all these young talent like Rasheed Walker, Tucker Kraft. These players in the second half of the season just absolutely lit it up. And defensively is my only question mark. With new defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley coming into town, it's like, if he can get these players playing to their true talent, to their true potential, you better watch out for Green Bay, because we got Jordan Love, we got all these talents on the offensive side of things. It's just a great day to be Green Bay Packers fan. So a little bit of hype video. As we get closer to the draft, I mean, we're still going to post a ton of Packers videos, but stay tuned, especially towards draft. So hit that like button, hit that sub button. Let me know your thoughts on the Green Bay Packers offseason, and we will see you guys.